humor is so important. It's so important on so many levels because this this stuff can get really intense, and uh, when you're relaxed and you sense some humor, it relaxes you and it lets you listen more carefully without trepidation. I think humor is just so important.
So
And
Norton, we do
fortunately,
have a question from Danielle that I'd like to take here before we start the official program. So Danielle, why don't you come forth and you put your question to Norton, please?
Louis, thank you so much for inviting me to this group. I feel so blessed
Oh,
to
you're welcome.
be sitting amongst giants right now. And Norton, if I can ask, because Louis didn't give me a sneak peek, may I have like know a little bit about your history and what brought you into channeling?
well, that's a really a good question. I I want you to understand that I came from a very intellectual place. That doesn't mean I was an intellectual by any stretch of the imagination, but I was out of my head. I processed um, in an intellectual way, and I got involved with an amateur archaeological society. I'd been reared an Orthodox Jew that didn't really address life after death and those kinds of things. And in this archaeological dig, archaeological society, they let you start off with digging and grading dirt and it's not the most glamorous thing, but it's understandable. They don't want you jumping into a site that you could easily mess up. Anyway, I had grown to be a little bit more advanced, and they were explaining about um, Indian ritual and about the beauty of this expansion of nature and preciousness of life and death. And all of these things to me that were very strange. They were not familiar at all. But the more I uh, invested in that, and then the woman archaeologist gave me books to read, and then it started to make sense in a real way that these laws and principles that we all live by, whether we are aware of them or not, uh, are they're not complicated, uh, and they make sense. And it resonated with me in a huge way. And then I moved from there. I'm kind of skipping. It's in the book, and I'm not trying to say in the book, but there was a Unity church, and there was this lady, an older lady, who had friends in the Richmond community. These were old, established folk whose husband was uh, a big businessman, and they were all into science, but the husbands didn't know anything about what they were studying, seances and so forth. They would dare tell these folks what was going on. Anyway, I connected with a beautiful woman, Pearl Wyatt, who was extremely spiritual. And she said that she wanted me to do a seance with her or with the Ouija board, that she did it with her friends on a weekly basis. And she wanted to do it with me. Well, again, I was skeptical. I wasn't cynical, but I was skeptical. And the Plachette was telling me uh, initially through Chan, uh, I have I have four guides: Chan, Rabbi, Meninger, Deerslayer, and Wildflower. And through that, I won't belabor it, but through that process, I made contact with them, and they made and so forth. And then Rabbi Anderson stepped in and said he wanted to talk to me. And I agreed. And said, he asked me 3 times that I want to do work with him. And they all do, many do that. They will not ask you one time, do you want to do work with them? They will ask you 3 times, and of course, you have a choice. They don't force anything on you. And I wanted to learn. I wanted to be a part of his teaching. And so I did. And as a result, my life has changed dramatically. I went from this intellectual piece of who I am to the emotional piece of who I am, and recognize the value and being able to have both the intellectual and the emotional. When you've got both, it's such a full feeling. It's like you understand things, but you also take them in and feel them, and life becomes so much richer. At least it has for me. And so that was a step. But I went through quite a bit with my rabbi, and that's in the book. And I won't go into it because it's pretty intense. And I feel like the book would explain it to you better. But the bottom line is you can't do this work with the ego, with the total intellect. It won't work. If you want to do this work, and everybody can do it, everybody has the ability to do this work. You have to recognize the ego and embrace the heart. And if you can do that with your deepest intent, magical things, mystical things happen. And it takes the mist out of mysticism, really. I know I'm trying to sell, but I want everybody to feel and enjoy life as much as I do. I'm 82 years old. I spent 50 years teaching the blind and vision impaired, loved every minute of it. It was a lifestyle for me. And I want everybody to find things that bring them joy and pleasure and not feel like you're working all the time. But it's a lifestyle, and that you really resonate with what you're doing and enjoy it. And then it's magical. It's really magical. So that's how I got started. And then my rabbi said, I want to write a book through you, which he did. And for the last 45 years, I've had a relationship with my Magid, my teacher. And he has comforted me in my low times. And it's wonderful. So I hope that answers your question for you. I hope that answers.
Thank you very much. I do appreciate it. I definitely believe in being able to connect with other spirits, because I've had experiences in my life. And, the thing is, I just have one more question, and then I'll be quiet.
Ask as many as you want. Unless Ray doesn't want me to talk, and he'll tell me.
If I didn't want you to talk, I would have told you way before now, Norton.
There you go. There you go, Ray. I know you would.
So I come from a very strong, Christian, spiritual background. Not, I mean, kind of religious, but it's non-denominational Christian. So that feel good Christian, you better tithe, and better show up every Sunday type Christian. And so Ouija boards were something that they did with my family that was Catholic, but the Christian family didn't use Ouija boards. And so I really don't, I was told by my, through my Christian upbringing that the Catholics practice some spirituality that was outside of the Bible. And
Yes.
on the cusp of being witchery and growing up in a non-denominational church, they relied solely on the Holy Spirit, God, and Christ. So I'm just wondering, is the Ouija board a common tool for channeling? And if so, is it safe?
The common basis for channeling is your deepest intention. The Ouija board is no more than some numbers and some alphabet. The basic principle for channeling and for contacting guides and people that you love and let love you is through your intention. And as long as you hold to your intention, then it will happen. And it's unfortunate that religions, all of the religions, have become what I call inhibiting your natural intuitiveness. So that's unfortunate. And when you let go of that and trust self, which is the most beautiful part of who you are, then you will find whatever ways you want to manifest your energy, you'll find it. It'll come to you. Whatever you put out through your right hand is going to come through your left hand. So don't worry about it. But I appreciate you sharing that with me. And I thank you for that.
Thank you, Daniel.
And you kept me from doing an introduction because he already did it.
That's right. He kept us from getting into that. He did a beautiful job of introducing himself.
Norton seems to know himself quite well.
Yeah, that's a good thing. And he knows his book really well, too, And by the way, we forgot to mention the name of the book, A Kabbalist in Spirit, A Family Friend. And you can find it on Amazon, of course,
Well, you can also find it in the chat. There is a link to that and his name in there. And he forgot to mention that he has spent 50 years as a social worker doing that. So he has been a life of service. And he woke up during that, and that's why he is here and on this journey right now.
There is.
And just remember, it was not a hardship. I loved every minute of it.
And we can see that right now. We can see the love that you have for the life that you have, which is very centered in spirit.
But I want to be honest with you. I want to be straight with you. I've spent the last 2 years in retirement, and I love it. I play pickleball, and I ride my bike, and I play pool, and I don't miss it. I miss my coworkers because I love them, but the stress
forget it.
I really don't miss it anymore.
Yeah.
So I just want to be straight with you. And,
beautiful. We got a couple of new people here today, Norton. So I'm just gonna remind people how we normally do these questions. Norton will go into his trance state and do his channeling. And at the end of that, he will take some questions in that state. And the way that we organize this normally is we actually do it in the chat. There's going to be a question queue that's be open, and you say, I have a question. And you will be incorporated if you were to raise your hand, we will incorporate you as well in that list. Okay, but that list is what rules how, you know, the order of the next person that goes, basically. And we do ask for everybody to mute their mics as Norton enters into his channeling. And with that, Norton, it's all yours.
Okay, great. I just want to mention that some of the books are getting scarce now, and I don't have a what do you call it, an email yet for people who want to order the book a little less expensive than what they charge. But I haven't gotten that together yet, but I will.
But in the meantime, Ray has a way to contact you directly, and Ray has an email, and he will accept that from anybody, I am sure.
Okay.
Okay?
That's what all the spammers say.
Yeah, that's right.
And you can also get a hold of us just by sending us an email on our Facebook High Vibe Channeling page as well. So I will watch that. I check that multiple times every day. So if you have any questions now, later, or in the future, just reach out, and don't be shy, because it only gets you overlooked.
And with that, Norton, you are
Okay.
in charge.
All right. Well, let's hope he's here. Because it's going to be disappointing if he's not here. So just give me a minute or two, and we'll get started. Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for inviting us to your wonderful channel. It is a real pleasure, and I hope that what I have to say will resonate with you in the deepest way. Today, I would like to talk about exploration. Exploration of what lies beyond you and what lies within you. I am not an authority on planets and other places that exist in your universe. I am an authority on one's soul, one's deepest desire to be full and happy and joyous, and to feel connected to all that is. So that is the area in which I will speak to you today. First of all, remember, as I tried to explain last session, try to focus on self. Try to focus on disclosure of self. And understand that disclosure of alien life or life outside of your awareness exists and is meaningful to you. But remember, please, that your desire for self-discovery and self-exploration is more meaningful on so many levels, because you take with you, wherever you find yourself, you take with you into that existence. So being concerned is fine, with those that exist outside of your awareness. That is good because you want to know as much as you can about your existence. But remember, my dear friends, where you find yourself, you want to be with you. And that means exploring self, exploring your fears, but exploring your beauty, exploring how powerful you are, and how you reach into all dimensions. Your soul, you are spreading, expanding your soul all the time. And you do not have a soul, you are a soul. So enjoy and take in the energy that God has given you and use it in all the ways that you find creative, all the ways you find your way of meeting self. It is your heritage. It belongs to you. And it is your responsibility to carry it with you and listen to your heart, recognizing your heart and recognizing your ego and embracing your heart. That is what I want to say. Embrace your heart and recognize your ego. So what that means is there are many, many opinions that you experience in your life, many from your family and your friends and your so-called friends that tell you who you are. But you tell yourself who you are because you have the power and you have the knowledge of telling yourself where you are and who you are and where you've been and where you're going. You have that power. Do not give it over to anybody, any friend, family, or political leader. It belongs to you and only you. You are an angel. You are precious to us here. As I have said before, you are more precious than you could ever imagine, and you are more than who you ever thought you were or think you are. So take that with you, my loved ones. It belongs to you. You have been created by God. God has given you the energy to create your reality in whatever form you wish to do it. Use that energy. It's neutral. So put out all positive. You put out with your right hand what you get back with your left hand, and I'm sure you've all heard that before. But that's true. So think positive. Know that you're loved. And know that since you are loved, and since you are who you are, you can share that with other people and other creations. Again, you take this with you wherever you go. You will never lose it. You will never lose who you are. So find your place with yourself. It is your natural place. It is your place that belongs to you. Again, I do not want to minimize your interest in those coming to the earth plane or who have been here, or those who have been here for many, many years. Don't feel that I am minimizing. I am not minimizing, for they are valuable to you and you to them. But recognize that for you, wherever existence you find yourself in, you have you. What happens on your earth plane now, and I see much good and some bumpy road, understand that they exist, but you exist. You exist. They exist, but you exist. And whatever they don't have, you have. That's the way the universe works. No one has all except all that is. So please be gentle with yourself. If you have fears, get people to help you. Release the fears so that you can feel self and feel all the power that is your heritage. Do you have questions?
Christiana, please.
Thank you. Greetings and welcome to our company.
Say again, please.
Greetings and welcome to our company. Can you hear me okay?
I didn't understand you.
Oh. Hello.
I can hear you, Christiana.
Okay.
Can you hear me, Norton?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh. Should I speak louder?
Try to speak
Please.
louder. Yeah.
Please.
Okay. Hello, thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for being here.
And thank you also for your wonderful message. You mentioned, like, because this subject of contact is outside and inside of us at the same time. And in my case, I feel, because it is my highest excitement to have contact with a lot of the beings that are not visible in this reality. And I have it inside me because I have a very strong buzzing inside my head, and I feel the presence of a lot of beings, but I am left with this buzzing. Do you have any advice on what to do with it?
Trust your intuitive. Trust yourself. If you're inclined to grow closer to those that are unfamiliar to you or familiar to you, and that are outside of your world, that is fine. That's wonderful. Trust it. Trust anything that gives you the indication that this is the way you should go. You know, if you knew every step of where you were going, it would be boring. You want to know, you're exploring, and this is my topic. You're exploring, and you may find that this is exactly the direction you should be taking in your life. So just trust, because there's a deeper communication that goes on. The soul is always knocking at the consciousness of your being. So trust it. It it belongs to you. How sweet. It belongs to you. So trust whatever avenue, whatever pathway you feels best for you. It's more important to feel than it is to know. Because if you can feel, you possess the desire to want to know. So trust it. I
Thank you.
hope that helps.
Yes. Thank you.
Mindy, please.
Do you have other questions?
Yes, we have more questions. Mindy, you have to unmute yourself.
Good evening. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
It is Rabbi that's with us, right?
Yes,
I have a
I'm
question for
here.
you.
I'm here.
Thank you for being here. I spent 10 years living in Israel. I was born there and I went back. And the 10 years I lived there, I've had connections with beings since I was a child. But in Israel, it was the experiences I had there were beyond anything I had ever experienced before. And more beings than I've ever known before. Like the Baal Shem Tov, Miriam, Devorah, and also I got introduced the Galactic Federation. Had a lot of visitation. And and then I was called back to the States, and I haven't had a feeling that I'm supposed to put roots anywhere. And I'm waiting waiting for the time to go back to Israel. I came back I come back and forth. But I wanted to know, is it because of what is the openness is there to receive? Is it more dense here in the States? Even I've been to Costa Rica, but in Israel, there was just something about the energy there and the availability, the openness to everything.
What is your name?
In Israel, it's Yakira.
Okay. It's you. It's not Israel. It's not America. It's you. Perhaps you were more motivated there. I don't know.
Okay.
But your contact and your experience emanates from you.
Okay.
And that can be anywhere in the world. If it was there, then you created it to be there. But it can be anywhere. You don't have to go to any country to experience what you have experienced. You just have to stay with you.
Okay.
That's a wonderful experience.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm joyous for you. But, and you are on the right path for yourself, because, this idea of synchronization, it's the organization of the universe. And so when you went there, synchronicity was abound, but it's not restrictive. With your intention and your creativity and your beauty, it does not have to be in any particular place other than your heart.
Thank you, Rabbi. Thank you so much.
Danielle, please.
Thank you, Rabbi, for joining us. I feel so honored to be able to meet you and to speak with you.
Same here.
So I have a few questions. How is Norton able to tap into his higher self? And is it his higher self that connects with you?
Okay, well, the channel raises his vibrational level and I lower mine. Hopefully, sometimes it's not as smooth as other times, depending on what I'm doing and what he's doing and his level of energy and mine. But again, it takes the mist out of mysticism. We all have. Here, we all have the abilities. And where you are, you have the abilities to raise your consciousness. It's all about intent. And so I guess that's the way it works. And I'm grateful for my dear channel of 45 years. We are friends.
That's beautiful.
We love each other. And we know each other voluntarily.
That's beautiful.
Voluntarily. And what I'm saying, nothing is forced on an individual. Everything on a deeper level of consciousness is chosen. Nothing can hurt you. You don't need weapons. You need you. As long as you stay close to yourself and the self-love that you have for yourself and others, nothing can be forced on you. This relationship with my channel was done voluntarily. I wanted to choose him, and he ultimately chose me. And that's the way it works.
So thank you so much for sharing that. And it leads me to my second question. So when I was very young, I had some glimpses as a child, but when I hit my teenage years, it was so easy for me to it was effortless for me to tap into people's past, present, and future. The past I could see vividly. The present, it was like I was in their body. So the past I was more outside, outside of them, but I could taste, I could see, I could hear what they heard, tasted, felt, smelled, but the present, it was like I was in their head, in their heart. And in the future, I only saw like 2 or 3 options for their future. But this happened repeatedly when I was a teenager, for a period of time until I got overwhelmed, and I actually asked the doctor how to shut it off, and it shut off. But now I'm at a point in my life where I definitely would love to be of service to other people, and it's been over 20 years, and I'd like to step into it. What's holding me back?
First of all, you have great service. Do not minimize what you have done with your life. The way to get it back, is that you haven't lost it. It's just you have to remind yourself of the joy and the creativity and all that went with it. Plus, now you have the maturity to take some of those experiences and expand them and grow with them, which is what we're all about. All of us. Expansion and growth. If you have had them, you have not lost them. I do think that when one reaches puberty, teenage years, there's a
Puberty.
word for it, but teenage years.
Puberty.
Thank you. That you have a new version of who you are, in that you're looking for you're looking for different things. The external becomes more vivid. It becomes more interesting, exciting, and it's very natural. But if you have had these experiences and see the value of those experiences, if you see, gee, they were really important to me, and or wondrous to me, just wondrous, then you can recapture. You can recapture. Sometimes it means letting go of some of the external influences that one gets when they're an adult. That's why children are so vulnerable and so fluid with their knowledge and understanding and sensitivity. But you have it, it has not left you. Continue to explore it. Explore. It will come.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Anita, please.
Are there any other questions?
Yes, I have one. My name is Anita Solis.
Anita, okay.
Yes. And you talked about lowering your vibration to meet Norton and having him raise his vibration. What are the best practices that I could use to raise my vibration if I would like to connect with my higher self or other spiritual beings?
It's a beautiful question. Thank you. It means unlearning. It means unlearning. It means unlearning the doubts, the fears, the stories, the messages about who you are. It's called differentiation in the psychology that my channel studied. It's differentiating from the family ego. In an example, this is not mine, but my channel loves this example. The family, which is, we could talk about that for many, many times. It's so valuable because that's where all of you come from on the physical plane, from a family, some family form. The pie, the family pie, let's say, is cut into 6 different pieces. You, your mom, your dad, your 2 sisters and brother. I don't know if that's 6. I hope it is. But anyway, so Anita,
yes,
decides, okay, I want to move to Alaska because I love the weather and the hunting and the whatever it is. that they do in Alaska. And you have a boyfriend that you're in love with, and your family goes, oh no, Anita, you can't, no, you can't do that. Well, it means that you have pulled your slice of the pie out of the family pie. That means all the other family members have to look at their own well-being, their own status within that pie. And you are pulling away. You're leaving a gap. So they're not happy with you. Many are not. Some are. Not everyone. Not every family. But many families are upset because they've got to find their place again. One example of how hard it is sometimes to do the things that you need and want to do in order to grow and learn. Family dynamics cannot be minimized. And that may not be your case, but it is for many. So understand that you have a responsibility to yourself. You don't want to go through this, your earth plane experience, tethered by the responsibility that you feel of others towards you. You want to rest in a very self-centered way where you can carry you to wherever it is that you find yourself. I understand, Anita, that for many, it's difficult to differentiate and move away from the expectation of who you are. But I promise you that embracing who you are and whatever path you take will bring you joy.
Thank you. That really resonated with me. That helped. Thank you.
So I guess it's my time. And that leads me really nicely into asking the question.
Can you speak up a little bit?
Yes. Is that good? Or a little bit more? Is that good? Okay. Good.
Yeah, louder, please.
Yeah, louder. Anita just leads me on your answer to the question about me embracing the identity that at this time has shaped or is shaping. And the question is, could you give me your take on how that process is unfolding for me?
How that process is what?
Unfolding.
For
me,
yourself?
For myself, yes.
Well, I don't know who you are. But I would say just by asking a question like that, you're on the right path of what it is that you want and need. Just by asking that question is giving validity to the intent of where you wish to go. I don't know what your circumstances are, but I know and I feel the desire.
There is desire. Thank you. Next is Ray.
And thank you very much, Rabbi Anderson, for coming forth with us again. I had a question in this day and age, there are lots more. There's a proliferation of channelers, and there's a proliferation of the beings who wish to come through those who do channel. Are there other beings which desire to come through Norton?
I will say this. Norton is my student, has always been my student because of our relationship. And I have no other students. I have no desire for other students because he will relate to you my deepest feelings, my deepest thoughts. I once was asked through my channel who was friends with Dr. Elizabeth Kubler-Ross, a lovely woman who has moved consciousness in the right direction, whether she could be a part of my student reception, or my student to be a student of myself. And I said no, because there is not a connection. And so that's the way I operate, if you will. We all connect, Ray, with the guides and spirits, teachers that are in line with our well-being and with your and mine too, because I have guides and spirit that are consistent with your personality, your intention, your knowledge, your desires. So that's an answer I think that I can give you in confidence. I will say that you have a special place in my heart for allowing me and my channel to share our work. It is of great joy, and we are so grateful to you for what you do. And for all of you today, I thank you for listening. And it is our prayer that what you hear resonates to some extent with your lives and is a helpful part of growing and learning who and what you are, and knowing, please, that you are much more than who you think you are, and that you're loved more than you can ever imagine. And may God bless your every breath.
Thank you very much for sharing that love and your wisdom and the answer. And it is truly our pleasure and an honor for me to have this opportunity to interact with you once again. Thank you, Rabbi.
Woo. Hello.
Hi. Welcome
Hello,
back, Norton.
everybody.
Yeah, hi. You actually we're developing more questions. There are more questions that people were, but next time, there'll be opportunities to speak
Okay.
with Rabbi. But if there's a question right now or a comment, we can do a comment to Norton, directly to Norton. Please, by all means, you can make that.
Well, give it to me. Give it to me.
That's right. Give it to him.
Well, my question can be directed towards Norton, if that's cool.
Yeah.
I was just wondering if you and Rabbi channel while you're dreaming.
Whether we channel while I'm dreaming?
While you're sleeping.
He will tell me that we're to go to sleep and stop thinking about silly things because we need work to do. So that's how I'll answer it.
Okay.
It's I'll be thinking about things and keeping myself awake and thinking, did I win that pickleball game because I had a good partner, or did I win? No, because I made that shot and it's driving him crazy because he wants me to go to sleep so he can. So yeah, every night we well, I say every night, it seems like it's every night. Once I'm asleep, it works. He says he's working, and so. And again, it's we have fun. I mean, he's got a great sense of humor, and it's a real comfort. He's a friend after 45 years, and I can ask him anything. I can ask him anything that's going on with me, and he's he'll tell me if he can, if he has the answer. He'll tell me. Or if I want to talk to him and he's busy, he's call me later. Or you're driving me crazy or something. It's a friendship. It's real. And when I started this, honest to God, when I started this 45 years ago, I was afraid that I'm going to get locked up because, this is 45 years ago. It's not like now where I do a monthly thing at my house and the book and everything. And it's, it's much more acceptance. But in that day, it's an interesting thing. It's a short story. Do I have time, Ray?
You have time.
Okay. Years ago, I was really lonely around this. My wife, I will share with her, but I was really lonely, and I wanted to share it with some folks that I thought would understand what I was going through. So there was a Reform rabbi, a woman in Richmond here. I live in Richmond, Virginia, and I went to her, and because she said that she adhered to some Kabbalistic principles, and that was enough for me. And so I went to her and I explained my experience that all of these things happened to me, and all of the challenges that I had in moving from the intellect to the emotion to the heart, from the head to the heart, and it was very disappointing. She didn't get it, and it was a lesson to me that you got to be careful, Norton, who you talk to and how you and what you say. I mean, I'm early on in this game here, 45 years ago, and I really learned from that. But interestingly enough, 6 years later, she's in Cincinnati, Ohio, and I get a call from her. She says, "I want to come to visit you." And I said, "Fine." I didn't know what she's going to talk to me about. Anyway, she came, and apparently it began to process in her. Maybe this is not such a foreign notion that you can talk to those who are in another dimension. And it felt good to see that. But not everybody, it's a lesson that not everybody gets this right away. And it shouldn't be my expectation or anybody else's expectation that this is something that we possess and that people get right away, because they're not oriented into this kind of thinking, that there are other dimensions. And I tell my folks when I first start my session here in Richmond, I say to them, I don't care if you don't believe anything that happens or says, but I want you to understand the two things that I want you to try to stay open to. One is that there's a continuation of life after death. And the other is that that all significant decisions are made on a deeper level of consciousness. And if you can stay open to those two things, then maybe what the rabbi has to say will make some sense to you, make some logic to you. And so that's the premise that I use.
We have a comment also from Anita.
Okay. Yes, Norton, I don't know if you remember when you channel, but the rabbi had some interesting things to say to me. He picked up on that I have, he gave an example of a pie, and that there's 6 pieces of a pie. Myself, my mother, my father, 2 sisters and a brother. And I actually have living 2 sisters and a brother. So I thought that was very serendipitous, that he picked up on that. And also he said, for me in particular, that I feel very responsible to other people, that I have a lot of family responsibilities, and it's, perhaps holding me back, and I need to, talk about or make some decisions about that. And that is very true. That is definitely my situation. So what he said was extremely helpful to me.
Oh,
so
I'm so
wanted
glad
to let you know.
Oh, it makes me full. It really does. I feel full when you say things like that. That is because that's the whole idea.
Mm-hmm.
It's my whole intention is I want to share my rabbi's knowledge and experience and wisdom.
Mm-hmm.
And it's so gratifying to hear that. Thank you so much for sharing that.
You're welcome. And really, thank you. Thank you for willing to do this and for bringing forth Rabbi. I really appreciate it.
Oh, that's great. Thank you. That's so sweet. Thank you.
Thank you, Anita. And we have to thank you, Norton, for being here and bringing the rabbi into this space on this beautiful Sunday. We honor you, and we honor the information that we received today, individually and collectively.
Yay, Norton.
Yeah.
Hey,
Norton,
thank you. And I want to get invited back, Ray.
Yeah.
I want to come back. So.
As soon as that check clears, Norton,
That's right. Exactly. That check for 10 cents, Hey, Norton, don't spend it all in one night, okay?
Right. That's great, Ray. It's terrific. Well, thank you again. God bless you.
God bless you. And I hope to see all of you again sometime. For sure.
Absolutely.
You're always invited to stay around and listen to the second session, which is coming soon. We're going to take a 5-minute break.